Hi everybody. Dare to Compete presents Winning Mantras, an endeavor to ignite the spirit of competitiveness. Today we have with us the national winners of Reliance TUP, Devashree, Akriti, Swayam Tibrewal, and Kartik Anand. Welcome guys. How are you all doing? And how has quarantine been for you guys?
Quarantine has been amazing. Thank you for the introduction, Arena. We're loving our time. We know that it's been a pandemic and it's a very bad situation for the world right now. But we finally got time to spend with our family. Nobody gets to spend so much time with the family when they're doing an MBA. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise for us. But yeah, we are kind of waiting to join back our campus. So eager in that as well.
Okay, great. What is everybody else doing? Devashree, Akriti, Swayam.
So this quarantine has been mainly about the internship, right, that we are having right now. It's the last 2 weeks left and we are proceeding with our projects. And overall, talking about family, I've got some time to spend with my siblings, to stay with my parents as well. So yeah, and we really hope that we get out of this pandemic really very soon and get back to normal college.
These times are really crazy thing, struggling with our own problems. Internships could have been better, but I guess we're dealing with what we have at the moment, and trying to make the best of it.
Apart from on the similar lines, for spending our internships, doing work, for spending time with our families, we have also picked a few hobbies, starting with playing chess, as well as cooking food for the family as well during evening or morning breakfast kind of a time. So those things have rejuvenated us in the entire 2 months process of quarantine so far. So that's been nice for us.
Okay, so Swayam and Kartik, do you guys play chess among yourselves or,
Yeah, we
or
do.
at home? Okay.
Yes, we want to be better for the next IIM competition.
Okay, perfect. So, guys, let's move on to the basics of Reliance UP. What was the competition about and how was it structured?
So basically, Reliance TUP stands for the ultimate pitch. So this competition was all about creating a business case for an existing or for a new innovative product, and trying to improve and trying to deliver a perfect pitch so that it covers all the business aspects. It can be taken to market. It can be a prospective business case for a company, and if it is a viable investment or not. So it definitely covers a wide variety of a broader perspective of management, and that's why it was a little different from other business cases where there's a focus on a particular aspect, like either marketing or finance. This was a holistic kind of challenge that we faced. But coming to the structure of Reliance TUP, I think there were 4 rounds basically. We started with registering ourselves on Dare to Compete, and then we had to upload a video presentation of what kind of project are we picking up, what is our product, and just the basic pitch or how we'll be proceeding with it. Once we did that video presentation, that was basically just for registration, and Reliance chose the teams that will be competing in this competition from various campuses. And we begin with the campus round. The campus round initially was amongst all the chosen projects. And that was basically the Reliance team had come to our campus. We were trying to pitch our product to them. After the campus round, we were chosen. Every campus had one campus winner. I think around 75 campuses had taken part in the Reliance TUP challenge. So after every campus round, the campus winners would then compete in the semi-finals. The semi-finals was a new round that was introduced this time, and it was a virtual round where we would be pitching our product to the Reliance team over. This was done around at the end of January, and amongst all the campus winners, around 16 teams were chosen. Yeah, that would finally compete in the final round. And the final round was finally at the Reliance in Mumbai, in the Reliance campus, and that was a different experience for us. But if we come to analyze, it happened for 2 days. The first was like having an idea fair where we simply simply set up a booth in the Reliance main campus and showed our product to different people, the employees who were working there, try to gather more interest, try to get more insights, get more ideas how we could improve our product. And then finally we had the ultimate pitch, which was in front of and that was basically trying to impress them with our product, with our pitch, trying to make them understand how we could really take this product to market. And yeah, I think that concludes the whole structure of TUP.
That was quite a detailed information. I think now we all know what Reliance TUP is all about. Guys, Reliance TUP, the ultimate fish, when you talk about pitching your product and when you talk about pitching an idea, you have a wide variety. Matlab, you have a lot of options where you can pick your idea from. So, how did you come up with one particular idea?
Yeah. So, all this thing about participating in Reliance TUP, it all started when Reliance had come to our campus for launching this Reliance TUP 5.0. That is the time wherein we all four were there in audiences looking at the launch. We looked at some of the previous ideas and the participants and the colleges that have participated in the competition previously. And that is where we got to know that IIM Bangalore has been the defending champions of Reliance TUP 4.0. And this feeling really got all of us to think that why don't we take it forward and participate in 5.0 and make this even a bigger reality for all of us. Talking about ideas, well, we had a few ideas in our mind, but then considering the fact that all of us belong to engineering background, so all of us were more concentrated on coming up with some tech idea. uh, One of our teammates, Swayam, he had worked on, yeah, Swayam, all thanks to you, in fact. He had worked on the technology of an idea during his engineering. However, what all four of us did it, we brought a business case to that idea and we narrowed down to a particular application. So this is where we brainstormed a lot within ourselves. The next step was to get a prototype for this particular idea. So it being a tech product, it required some expertise in terms of having a laboratory, which is usually present in an engineering college. So for that, we had to collaborate with our professors and take some contacts from them in order to approach a engineering college and in order to take the permission to access their labs. So our professors were really very helpful in this context. They helped us in terms of getting in touch with the right people who would help us with their expertise. And then we came up with the prototype. And also over a period of time, there was a lot of brainstorming that we did within ourselves as well. Sometimes we used to agree, disagree, but all of us, we have a good bonding. I think the friendship, the kind of friendship that we share, it really helped us to still maintain that healthy relationship and uh, perform well in the competition as well. Talking about the business case and the presentation aspect, the main things that we focused on was that the business case should be something that is sustainable, something that has a huge market potential, and something that can be scaled up. These were the things that we focused on. And for the presentation, what we did was we had in the campus round, we had a time limit of just 3 minutes. And that's how we wanted to concentrate mainly on the business case of this particular idea. We kept the tech part limited. However, whenever the questions of tech were posed, we were prepared to answer it, especially Swayam was there to answer, to defend all the tech questions. Yeah, well, so I think this is all how we all came up with the idea and proceeded with it.
Okay, then now that's quite some explanation again. Guys, how many times did it happen that you had clashes among yourselves for just picking up one idea?
I think every time.
I would remember fighting with Kartik like on late night hours during discussing one of segment of idea, whether we should include this or not, whether we should include that or not. And those things really like made our way towards making a proper presentation in the end. But we had a lot of clashes in the terms of what should be presented and how should that be presented as well. And I remember it was one of memorable things that happened on campus during our time. Kartik can elaborate more on that.
I think that conflicts are good when they are managed perfectly. When you have conflict and when you brainstorm, there are a lot of ideas that come together, and then somebody would have to take a backseat and put the idea first and your ego behind. I think that was one of the biggest challenges, because to create a bigger idea and do work in a team, it really required a lot of management skills. And I think that we learned a lot about management through this competition than what we have learned in our first year at MBA at IIM Bangalore. So I would really feel that, this competitions and to work in a team where all four of you are at the same pedestal, that really challenges you. That how you could have to take a backseat and judge the idea from a third person's view to see that which is the best idea.
Okay, I think you're right, Kartik and Swayam. Talking about the other presentations, when you finally presented your idea in the campus round and also in the finals, did you come across any unique idea that took you by surprise, or was your idea very different from the others?
I think that all the ideas were pretty different from each other because it's a business idea competition, right? And everybody has come with a different idea. And Reliance also made ensure that, they are putting in a lot of different ideas for the finale. But there were people who really challenged themselves to come up with various, brilliant ideas in the way to present. So like Akriti shared that one of the parts of Reliance was to put up an idea fair. And this was the first time, and we did not expect people to put in a lot of effort for that. But there were people who brought projectors and PlayStations with them from their campuses. So one team worked on gaming and how the gaming industry has a great future. So they brought a PlayStation and a projector and put up a booth in which, the Reliance jury could play the game. And once they are playing the game, they have them completely engaged. So then they can pitch about their product. That was a very brilliant way of, engaging the crowd and then, pitching your product to them. One of the teams got a lot of standees and posters for their booth, and then they got speakers as well to create a great environment around their booth to grab more attention. And they finally won the idea pitch and the most popular choice award as well, because the way that they engage the crowd. So I think the look, touch, and feel of your product also matters in an idea competition. If the jury could see your product, touch and feel and use it, that really engages them to give you brownie points for that.
Okay, coming back to your idea in particular, when you were working on your idea, did you come across any roadblocks that you would have not initially anticipated?
So there are few. So when we had the campus round, so I initially remember in those days we didn't have much idea about how to go about these presentations. In terms, it was the first time that we were going about these things. So and it had been quite a while since we worked on the technical aspect of this idea. We were just present the overview of our idea and not had a prototype then in the campus round. So I remember specifically that there were a lot of technical questions that were supposed to be clarified before the presentation, and we didn't know the depths of it. As in, we had an overview picture of it. So we decided to handle such questions. What we'll not spend much time in our presentation during on those technical sides. We'll just give them an overview, and whatever cross question that they ask us, we'll just handle in a manner that is actually explainable to both of them, and neither they pester us more on those levels. So that the initial campus round that we did in terms of handling those technical questions. Going forward, during the semi-finals as well as in the finals round, what we did was we prepared a FAQ sheet of all the dirty questions that can be asked to us in the presentation. Starting with, we would show our presentations to a lot of people around our mentor that was provided to us by the Reliance team. Then we gathered a lot of answers and questions that can be asked in the national finale. That helped us in preparing a proper pitch for us, what all we need to cover and what all we need to cover in the Q&A round. So no roadblocks as such because we were so prepared in the finals round, but definitely there were a lot of roadblocks in the initial campus round as well. That we managed to make sure that we don't spend much time on those slides uh, as on part of our presentation time.
Was there any point in the campus round where you thought that, okay, this is the question that I wasn't prepared for and that was thrown at you?
I think it happened a lot of
Yes.
times because this competition is across PGP1 and PGP2s, and we were the only PGP1 team, the first year team that was presenting from our campus. So when we reached for the campus round, we saw all PGP2s and all the seniors, and we are the only first year team. So we were very underconfident, and we were like that, okay, let's just get second prize probably in the campus round. I think that'll be a very good achievement for us. But when they asked a lot of questions, it was kind of tough because when you're pitching to industry leaders, they'll come up with various insights which you can't even think about, right? And that at that point of time, if you are able to answer those questions, only then I think that all the competitions are won in Q&A round, especially all the case study and idea pitches competition. If you're good in the Q&A round, I think you're good to go. Swayam, would you like to add?
To go to the details of that, I specifically remember they asked me what is the material used inside those things, and I remember the just the name of the material, not the specific details of that. So that was a bit of lucky thing escape that we had during the campus round. But apart from that, those business aspects questions, the scalability questions that they asked, we didn't have a detailed aspect to during the campus round, as Kartik mentioned, but we handled it pretty well comparatively. So that was a bonus for us in the Q&A round.
Okay, perfect. Guys, where are you with your ideas now? Are we about, should we expect it to see in reality soon after a few days, or was it just for the sake of the competition?
I think we have actually, our project has incubated at our startup cell in IIM Bangalore, which is the NSR cell. So we took the effort to do that, and we do seem pretty confident about our product because it's a very cutting edge technology and it's very futuristic. I think we would like to work more on this, but I think once we were planning to do that once we come back to campus. I think we should start doing it a little bit from home itself. But the major problems that we face now is that we need to start the product up a bit. Now we have the prototype level made. We need to get this into some manufacturing stream and see if we can get any vendor who can actually help us out with this. Yeah. And Kartik, can you add something to that?
Yeah, so definitely would like to take our product forward to the market. So we already have the prototype and we are incubated at IIM Bangalore. We also have offers from Reliance in their GeoNext program that they'll want to mentor us further and take our product forward in the market. I think we have a futuristic product which caters to sustainability and goals about saving the carbon footprint of the world. So we have talked with various vendors as well, and we're pretty confident about our product because we have merged with a lot of engineering colleges as well to help us better the technology, and we have won a couple of further competitions as well using the same idea. So we're pretty confident about taking our product forward.
That's great. All the best to all of you for your product, and we hope to see it in market soon.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the jury now. What was different about the jury at Reliance TUP, and what answers were they expecting, or what were they expecting from the participants?
So, the jury comprised of the executive portfolios from Reliance. We definitely had some of the top level management, senior managers. We had a lot of people from GeoGen Next. Basically, all the jury members were related to strategy and innovation team at Reliance, trying to see and trying to understand whether this project has any business case, if it has any value as a company or to the market. And mainly what kind of questions they were asking is that how feasible is your product, how well thought of is your idea, and if we have thought of all the what if conditions, all the contingency plans. So I remember them ask a question, for our prototype that we had built, since it was something, it was like a prototype that can be embedded in the shoe, in our normal shoes. So, the simple question that they asked was that what would you do at an airport security? Wouldn't you be stopped for, you didn't have to take off your shoes? Wouldn't you be stopped? Wouldn't you be not allowed to use that product there? So again, they were just trying to cover up all the contingencies and seeing if we have any plan or not. And even if we don't, whether can we come up with that on the spot, or can we think comprehensively? So that was the main target of the jury. And I think it was most informative. I mean, they were not really trying to test us as much as they were trying to help us think further and broaden our perspective.
Yeah, okay, great. What Another question that comes up here is, what is that one particular thing that students should focus on while working on an idea pitch competition? What is that one aspect?
First aspect is that in an idea pitch competition, you don't need two text heavy slides. So a lot of the case study competitions, you put in a lot of text because you have limitations in the number of slides. But here, when you're pitching an idea, you have to think of the jury as a possible consumer of your product. And then you have to engage them with great visuals, right? And make it very exciting and engaging for the jury, right? And generally all competitions, you'll have a lot of text in a slide, a lot of financials, but here you just need your unit economics. You don't need any elaborate financials, because there were a couple of teams who did elaborate financial analysis, and the jury here, they are the chief financial officers of Reliance, right? And they'll pick you apart like anything, because there was a team who, entered some values for the salary of people, right? And they did not knew about they didn't know about the recent regulations that have come up regarding the pay of the minimum pay that you have to pay to people. So the jury picked them apart, that what is the basic pay that you have to give to a person in your company, and they didn't know the answer. So if you're going for elaborate analysis, you should be ready for everything, because the jury is very well read and they know a lot about the industry. So why don't you stick to what you already know and make the presentation much more exciting and engaging for the jury? I think that's really important. That sets apart a business idea pitch to a case study pitch. In an idea pitch, you should probably sell it as if you're giving an advertisement of your product, right? You should start by telling that what the need that you're solving. It should be really engaging with minimal text on your slides and more about what the product is. I mean, you can have 30, 40 slides, but if you're spending just 10 seconds on a slide, it solves the purpose. If you're spending too much time in a slide and a lot of text, the jury would look at the slides and they'll be like, I don't want to see what you've written, right? And in the idea pitch competition, the jury would have various questions. If you have put in any number on your slide, you should know what the reason and why you have put that number. You should know the whole background of that number. That is also one of the various important aspects. Apart from that, for an idea pitch competition, the other important aspect is the look, feel, and touch of your product. If you have a product, a prototype, which you can give to the jury, show them what you are doing, show them. There was one team that also got a fridge from their campus. So they were building a fridge that had less carbon emissions. So they brought the fridge with them so that they could show it to the jury that this is how the fridge would look. So we gave them a shoe model where they could, hammer the shoe and see that, okay, electricity is being generated. So that ways you have to bring a look and touch and feel of your product to really convince them that, yes, you have progressed somewhere, then you can really bring this to market. And it's not just something that you're bluffing them with any idea that you've come across.
The reason why Kartik is focusing more on text slides and all those presentation aspect, because I feel he was the one behind making those non text heavy slides for our team majority. So that's why he's focusing major, so that everyone
Also
else
because,
who's take part in those competitions start focusing
because
there.
that also set us apart, and I think that was also appreciated by the jury.
True.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'll add
Yeah.
further onto that. Before the presentation, it's more about the kind of idea that you want to present. So it's something that should be on the newer side, where you have some of the creativity induced in your idea, and that can set your idea very different from what the others are in a normal trend. Majorly, we saw a lot of people doing on the agricultural trends, or those were the trends where people were pitching our ideas. But what stood out for us was our idea was very different from all the 13 other teams. It was not focusing on going digital. It was not focusing on those agricultural aspects and bringing transformation in the digital industry and all those things. So that was the uniqueness of our idea. Your idea should be very unique and should be something that be promising in terms of being scalable, have a proper go-to-market plan. Those things are the one that you should work on before anything else. You should have your lean canvas well prepared.
Well, I would like to add a bit to what Kartik and Swayam have said. It's more onto the kind of journey that we undertook in order to come up with this good pitch. So the main point here, when it comes to a business case, it's important to know what your customers want. So what we did was we interviewed like 20 to 25 customers. We showed them the prototype, like, tell us if you would use this. Then the kind of questions that the customers asked us, that will it be water resistant, like if there's thunder and if it's raining and I wear these shoes, will the shock get transferred to my body? So all of these questions, they made us think onto our idea, and then we thought about what all other certifications and approvals or other procedures that we'll have to go through in order to make this product foolproof. So I think interaction with the stakeholders was a major part of the journey entirely. And yes, the presentation bit, as Karthik and Swayam rightly mentioned, yes, those also come along.
Now that's an awesome insight into how a person should get into an idea pitch competition. Um, let's move forward to the next question, guys. Why is a B school competition important? In short, why should an MBA student participate in a corporate competition? What is the basic importance and how does it shape an MBA student's life?
I would like to mention the aspects that I learned individually while participating and while being a part of this competition. I think it made a better version of me, because the way I used to be in college, it was a very academic focus that I was having. But this competition, it took me out of that academic focus, made me think about things that are more practically applicable. Also, for this competition, we reached out to various professors, we reached out to our seniors. So I think it makes us think about all concepts. It's not just about the subjects that you like. For example, if I like operations, then, but when it comes to business case, I also have to think about the financials part of it, the go to market part of it. And for that, I need to get in touch with various people, read through lots of stuff, even if I don't feel that all of it is comfortable for me. But yes, in order to have a foolproof idea, that has to be done.
So uh,
Yeah.
I'll add on to that. Apart from the entire gist that Devashree said, the importance of B school competitions are, honestly, it's for a CV point that every first year student starts off with this journey with, right? It's a very big CV point, starting with a huge prize money and a thing to brag about. But going forward, when you realize it's not always the one who thinks in those lines who persist and wins in the end. It's the ones who are actually dedicated towards making a proper bigger version of their idea, or for example doing something more useful with their competition. It's not just for the sake of winning or getting a CV point. In the end, the ones who survive. So we realized this, that all of us, the people who start in an MP school, they madly go behind these competitions. So for majority of us as well, during our initial se- first two terms, we were on this semester, this lines itself, because it was all related to case competitions. We all wanted to win something, so as to have a very good nag on our CV. But when this Reliance TUP competition came up, we realized that this is something of our arena. This is something which there is not a prescribed way to go about it. This is something that you can mold it as you want, and in that manner, that is was very different in this kind of a competition. So honestly, B school competitions are very important for people, but it's more rather for a CV point kind of an aspect that people perceive it, rather than taking it as a futuristic approach. But this Reliance TUP competition was a very different perspective here.
I mean, definitely he missed out that you also get pre-placement interviews, which are a very big aspect of winning competition. Apart from that, I believe that Reliance TUP is a really great platform because apart from that, you make a lot of industry connections as well when you go through Reliance TUP. I mean, we were talking to people who could incubate us at Reliance Geo Gen Next, right? That is a very big aspect of this competition. And we also get to go to the Jamnagar refinery in a private jet. So there are various other benefits also where you could possibly get some industrial connections as well as some perks that come along a competition. So that's all that.
What is your one advice to the students who will be joining B school this year in terms of corporate competitions and for the B school life in general?
See, no, it's very personal based, the advice in terms of how you would want to take up a B school journey. So specifically for me, who would want to extract the most of out of the 2 years at a B school, or for example the 1 year at ISB, I would focus on the different aspects that how I can get into these zones. So suppose if I'm not interested in the co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, I would try to make sure the things that I'm better at. I'm interested. I make the best version of myself. Starting with academics, if I want to focus on academics, if I want to take part in corporate competitions, I need to make sure that I have a very good team around myself. Uh, from the initial day one itself, you need to have a very those mindset that you have like-minded people around, and then start building those preparation for making a very good team in those competitions, because that's what it matters. Suppose if you're more interested in towards having a extracurricular or the all-rounder kind of a profile build, where you might have not so done well in your past in terms of extracurricular activities, you take engaging get engaging in those kind of arenas as well. So it's very personal based, but for any B school aspirant joining this year, my advice would be to take it as a journey that will never happen once this gets over. Once you get into the corporate arena, you will miss this kind of a life forever. But so this is have as many experiences in terms of whatever you can. Don't waste your time around sleeping in the hostel rooms, not attending classes, those classes wise, or there are a lot of stuff. But make sure to extract most of your time at the 2 years in your B school, and focus on the 5 different arenas, be it the the club activities, the extracurricular activities, the case competition wise or academics. These things you can have a well dedicated approach towards this, that if I want to focus around that. And about the B school competitions in general, so this is one arena, like Kartik mentioned, you learn more than the theoretical learning or so the case study based learning that we gather in B school. So this is where you actually tend to practice and then see what all other competitions are in the other B schools. When you have 14, 15 people in the finale from different B schools, you want to compare how your learning aspect has been in comparison to the other B schools. So those things really matter. So I would definitely advise everyone who go forward, who's joining B school this year, to take part in such competitions, because uh, remember, we would not hardly recollect much of our classes right now, but for this TUP journey, everyone would be right about what all happened during the initial phases and then in the end. But talk about any strategy class and any case that was discussed, hardly any of us would recollect anything right now. So that's what matters in the end.
I would like to throw some light on the on some kind of notion that is right now existent in B schools. So it is usually the thing that for case competitions, it's mostly the second year students who do well. But I think that's not the fact. Even if students enter B school in their first, they get to study the subjects, the basic subjects, and even at that time, hand at case competitions. What this will ensure is that they'll, switch teams. They'll make some permutation combinations of various teams in various competitions, and towards the end of such 3 or 4 competitions, they'll be able to come up with one good team wherein they can see that their work ethics are matching, the kind of capabilities that are there within teammates, those are working well. So being explorative in terms of choosing your team members is also a thing, which I would advise. And secondly, academics, yes, they are important, but at the same time, it is essential to go out of the academics and also see what else is out there. As Swayam rightly mentioned, it could be any other extracurricular activities, it could be clubs at college, or it could be corporate competitions. So, try your bit at everything, because this is only going to be the time when you are ready to explore and there's no one else to judge you. It's only about you. It's all about self learning.
What Devashree and Swayam said, just gonna say one piece of advice is you take the first step. That's it. Start taking initiative, start challenging yourself, and take the first step in every single thing, in whatever you want to do. Be school competitions, club activities, whatever. Just take the first step. Take the first step to go to professors and connecting with them. Take the first step to go to seniors and connecting with them. Just take the first step, and then the journey will continue. But I think the step from 0 to 1 is important than from 1 to the rest.
बहुत सही ज्ञान.
You know?
I'll just share that, B School is a personality transformation journey. And like Swayam shared, to have like-minded or unlike-minded people around you, it all depends on what you want. For example, I came to B School without any work experience. And I had always and spent whole of my life in Delhi environment, right? I always had people with a similar taste, a similar personality, similar background. So when I entered into IIM Bangalore and I saw a lot of people with various different backgrounds around, I was taken aback. I was like, okay, this is a new world to me, right? So when you interact with different people with different backgrounds, you have to change the style in which you gel or connect with them, and that is really important before you step out in the industry. So I think it's a great personality transformation journey for you. And academics is very important. I mean, don't listen to the three people who are saying that academics is not important. It is very important, because if you're
Well, I
good
said it's important.
no, I think it's much more important than even if you're extracurriculars or club activities. Because if you're good at academics, a lot of doors open for you, which do not open if you're just good at not good at academics. So yeah, academics is also important. But I feel that at B School, you'll realize that there are a lot of people who are very good at academics as well as good at extracurriculars. So there's a good set of people who are at the intersection of the two circles of extracurriculars and academics. It's not a null set. I mean, if you're good at both, that's what set you apart.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was great interacting with you all. We wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. We hope you guys join Reliance TUP soon. We'll see you soon. All the
Thank you
best.
so much.
Stay
Thank you
safe
very
and
much.
stay home.
Thank you. Thank you.